number 12. Let us have a brief recap what we have studied in the last class. In the previous classes, we learnt about the different types of blockchain, the distributed ledgers, distributed ledger technology, blockchains, ledgers, public blockchains, private blockchains, semi-private blockchains, side chains, permission ledger, shared ledger, fully private, proprietary blockchains, tokenized blockchains, tokenless blockchains. So in the last class, we learned about the consensus, what consensus is. As we all know, consensus is the backbone of blockchain. That is the agreement upon all the nodes on which they are agree. We come to that conclusion. That is nothing but the consensus. And we also studied the various requirements to meet the consensus mechanism. So, there is a particular mechanism how we are reaching this consensus. So there are few requirements which has to be met to come to conclusion. That is, first is agreement, termination, validity, fault tolerance, and integrity. These are the 5 basic things that are the requirements to meet the consensus mechanism. In the last class, we also learned there are so many algorithms which are developed to accomplish the consensus mechanism. Few notable algorithms we studied in the last class were proof of stake, proof of work, delegated proof of stake, proof of deposit, proof of elapsed time, proof of importance, federated consensus, reputation based mechanism, practical Byzantine's fault tolerance, proof of activity, proof of capacity, and proof of storage. These 12 types of algorithms we studied in the last class. Today, let us see what is this CAP problem, CAP CAP problem. The CAP problem and the blockchain. The C stands for consistency, A stands for the availability, and P stands for the partition. It is clearly shown in the figure. There is a consistency, there is a availability, and all of this there is a partition. CAP theorem, also known as Brewer's theorem, it was introduced by Eric Brewer in the 1998 as a conjecture. In 2002, it was proven as a theorem by Seth Gilbert and Nancy Lynch. See, when we are studying this blockchain technology, there are so many terms, there are so many concepts, there are so many theorems, isn't it? So at one point, there may be some theoretical issues, but when we come to the practical scenario, whether it works or not, what will be the throughput, what will be the output, whether it is feasible or not, that is most important thing. So today we will see the actual problem, because when we all know that there are different nodes, there are different blocks, and all the information, the transaction that is stored in the blocks. So we all know that we have seen so many advantages of blockchain, such that the data cannot be changed and each block is linked with another. So many things, theoretical things we have seen. But today we will see there is a practical problem. What is the practical problem? When we deal with the data, whether the data is consistent or not, whether we deal with the availability, when we talk about data sharing, whether the data is available or not, and when we talk about different nodes, multiple nodes are there, so there are different partitions in the network. So how this partition come into picture? So the whole network, how it has been divided, on what topology it is, whether it is able to share the data in all the nodes. So that is the practical thing. So we will see how it works. The theory state that, means the CAP theorem, the theory state that any distributed system cannot have consistency, availability, and partition tolerance simultaneously. See, again I will repeat, in the practical scenario, when we are going to study this blockchain technology, as we all know, the blockchain technology is based on distributed system. When we talk about distributed system, we should have all the good attributes of distributed system. But in a practical scenario, the theory states that we cannot have these 3 things, consistency, availability, and partition, at one time simultaneously. We cannot have all these three together. The theory states that any distributed system cannot have consistency, availability, and partition tolerance simultaneously. This is the practical problem. We will also see how we are going to solve this problem. Let us apply the three theorem properties on a smallest possible distributed system only with two nodes. Just to understand that what the theorem is telling, the theorem is telling that three things cannot have at one time. Okay, let us have a simple problem having two nodes A and B. As it is shown that all the data is being shared between A and B, isn't it? So it has been proven that a distributed system cannot have consistency, availability, and partition tolerance simultaneously. This is explained with the following example. Let us imagine that there is a distributed system with two nodes A and B. Let us now apply the three theorem properties on the smallest possible distributed system only with two nodes. Consistency is achieved if both nodes have same shared data. Obviously, whatever A has, the same data is with the B, then we can call it as that. If they have consistency is achieved if both nodes have the same shared data. That is, if they have the same up-to-date copy of the data. Availability is achieved if both nodes are up and running and responsive with the latest copy of data. Availability is achieved means whatever data is available here, the same data should be available here. How it can be achieved? It can be achieved that it is responding very fast. They are running up and responding with the latest copy of data. Means they are updating in a they are updated in a such a manner that whatever latest copy comes, it comes to the A, it comes to the B. So in this case, we can call it as the, first of all, same data is there. Second is latest data is there. Means it has A has achieved consistency, B has achieved the consistency. The data is available at both the nodes, then availability at both the nodes, data is available. Partition tolerance is achieved if communication does not break down between two nodes. See, once again I am reading, this is important. We just now we saw C and A. The problem is CAP problem, isn't it? C is there, A is there. What about P? P is the partition tolerance is achieved if communication does not break down between two nodes. This is the communication link between node A and node B. Suppose it breaks down. So what will be the problem? What will be the consequences? Partition tolerance is achieved if communication does not break down between nodes, either due to network issues, either due to Byzantine faults and so forth, and they are able to communicate with each other. Partition tolerance is achieved if communication does not break down between two nodes and they are able to communicate with each other. Unless there is a good communication, there is no fault in the communication, obviously we are able to achieve this C consistency A. But if there occurs any link error, if there occurs any breakdown in this network, then we will see how it affects, and definitely we are not able to achieve this CAP. Let us see in the next slide. Now, because see here I have just drawn as a multi-node. I will tell you why. Now, think of a scenario where a partition occurs and nodes can no longer communicate with each other. There is a partition occurs, there the link is broken here. I have shown the link is broken. If no updated data comes in, it can only be updated in one node only. See, in suppose there are so many other nodes are also connected, or if whatever data is there, it is there in one side. So what happens is, if no updated data comes in, it can only be updated in one node only. In that case, if node accept the update, then only that one node in the network is updated, and therefore consistency is lost. means as I have shown, at one side it is updated, at one side it is not updated, then we can call it as the consistency between the two nodes has been lost. Now if the update is rejected by the node, that would result in loss of availability. Suppose in these two nodes, if one is not being able to update it, then at one node the data will be available and another node the data will not be available. In such a case, we are calling it as there is a loss of availability. Means C is lost, A is lost. C for consistency is lost, A for availability is lost. In that case, due to partition tolerance, both availability and consistency are unachievable. So just here from this example, we can consider that if there is no partition tolerance between the two nodes, then it is very hard to achieve this availability as well as the consistency. So this is the scenario, this is the practical scenario in which what the theorem is telling, that we cannot achieve all the three things at one time simultaneously: consistency, availability and partition tolerance. If there is any problem because of any Byzantine node or some nodes, then definitely we are going to lose the data. Just I have shown here the multi-node. This was the scenario just for the simple example of only two nodes. If there are so many nodes, definitely we are having so many problems. So in this case, it becomes much more complex. In the multi-node structure, some topology, it becomes very much difficult for us just to tell that there is the system is consistent, the system is having all availability of data, isn't it? So that's why, so in the simple example we have seen that if there is any link is broken, then very much difficult for us to call the system as a consistent, and we call the system as the data is available at the both the nodes. So now we'll see how we are going to solve this problem. This range becomes somehow blockchain manages to achieve all these properties, or does it? This is a strange problem. Anyhow, we have to solve this problem to achieve fault tolerance. See, this is some problem. Obviously, this is a problem that data is lost. How we are going to solve this? It can only be solved that whatever data is lost, whatever data packet or whatsoever is lost, we have to have a replica of that copy of the data. This is the strain. To achieve this fault tolerance, replication is used. Replication means whatever data is there, we are going to replicate. The same type of data is present in a different. So the same type of data we are having replication, we are storing in some other place. This is a standard and widely used method to achieve fault tolerance. Consistency is achieved using consensus algorithms in order to ensure that all nodes have the same copy of data. As we all know, we are using this consensus algorithms that ensures that the mechanism itself ensures that whatever the nodes they are agreeing, that data is going to be stored in each of the blocks. So the consistency is achieved using the consensus algorithms. In the last class, we learned more than 10 consensus algorithms. We are using that mechanism to ensure that all nodes will have the same copy of data. This is called state machine replication. What it is? State machine replication, it tells that the data is replicated, means redundant information we have got, and this redundant means same type of information, we can call it as extra, but it is going to help us in case if any Byzantine problem occurs. This is also called state machine replication. So what is state machine replication? Consistency is achieved using consensus algorithm in order to achieve that all nodes have the same copy of data. This is called the state machine replication. The blockchain is a means for achieving state machine replication. The blockchain is a means. The technology in the blockchain, it is a means for achieving state machine replication. In general, there are two types of faults that a node can experience. Both of these fall under the broader category of faults that can occur in a distributed system. So, in the last slide, what we learned, we saw that there is a problem of the broken link, and how we are going to solve this? We are going to solve using this state machine replication, where the data is replicated and data is stored in the same copy of the data is stored in all the blocks. In such a way, we are going to achieve this consistency, we are going to achieve this availability, obviously we are going to achieve this partition tolerance also. So both of these type of faults are there, that they are going to occur in the distributed system. The first type of fault is fail stop fault. This type of fault occurs when a node merely has crashed. Fail stop faults are easier ones to deal with of the two fault types. As we all know, there are two types of fault. One is the fail stop fault and another is the Byzantine fault. So the first fault occurs when the node has crashed because of some reason, because of some maybe some software problem. If maybe some problem, the node has crashed. There are several means. Again, the system can be come to the original position. Anyhow, this type is nothing but fail stop crash. This type of fault occurs when a node merely has crashed. When the node crashes, it loses the data. This type of fault is called a fail stop fault. Fail stop faults are easier ones to deal with one of the two faults. Byzantine faults. The second type of fault is one where the faulty nodes exhibits malicious or inconsistent behavior arbitrarily. Obviously, by seeing these two, in this only the node has crashed, but here, the node, it is going to be exhibits any malicious or inconsistent behavior arbitrarily. This type is difficult to handle since it can create confusion due to misleading information. This can be a result of an attack by adversaries. It can be because of some software bug, and it can be because of some data corruption. State machine replication protocol such as practical Byzantine fault tolerance was developed to address this second type of faults. So we have come to this point that we have got two type of fault. One is the fail stop fault and another is the Byzantine fault. The fail stop fault, it occurs because some node has crashed, and there are so many means so that we can recover the crashed node. But whereas the second fault, Byzantine fault, it is because of some software bug, it is because of some intruders, they are going to intrude in the system. So it is hard to solve this Byzantine faults.